August 18th, 1913. Monte Carlo Casino. The wheel spins. It's black. Again, black. Again, black.
It will be red, I can feel it.
Yes,
Players
red
begin
is certain.
murmuring.
It's got to be red's time.
Red is due. Money floods onto red. The wheel spins again. Black. And again, black. The streak continued for 26 spins. Gamblers lost enormous sums that night, desperately betting against a pattern that never meant anything. Because the roulette wheel had no memory. Only the people watching it did. Welcome back to where second looks are mandatory. Certainty is optional, and sometimes the universe looks like it's plotting something, when really it's just rolling dice. Wow, heads 5 times in a row. What's the odds that the next one is going to be the same? We're looking again at the human instinct to see patterns and why that instinct can betray us. This one's got a name, the gambler's fallacy. It's the belief that past random events influence future random events. You see, each spin of the roulette wheel is a new event. The wheel does not remember previous spins. The coin doesn't remember the previous tosses. Random processes don't remember the last thing they did. Whether it's coin flips, dice rolls, roulette spins, or even lottery numbers, random processes have no memory. They've all got amnesia. The belief that things will even out feels intuitive. Humans expect short-term balance. If you flip a coin 10 times and you get 8 heads, most people feel that tails is coming. As if there was an invisible machine that gets loaded up with every consecutive heads, and eventually the machine will tip over and trigger a tails. But probability doesn't conform to our timelines. That coin toss I asked you about, what's the chances it will come up heads again after 5 times? Well, 50%. The previous flips don't affect this next one at all. The balancing out part happens only over large numbers of trials. Randomness isn't even trying to look fair. Like we touched upon last time, people are designed to detect patterns, like the rustling grass that might mean a predator, or when the forest falls silent. That could mean a predator too. Or if oarfish wash up on shore, that's been noticed to precede earthquakes and tsunamis. Missing a pattern could mean death. So the brain prefers false positives over missed threats. It's better to see patterns that aren't really meaningful than to miss patterns that are meaningful. Here's the odd thing about randomness. True randomness produces streaks and clusters. How about the colored marbles shaken up in a jar? But that kind of clustering is exactly what randomness produces. It makes it challenging to figure out if a cluster is meaningful or if it's random. Because randomness does not look random to the human brain. Our brain's pattern instinct doesn't stop at coin flips and rolling dice. Sometimes it finds patterns in pure noise. This is usually called pareidolia. It's faces in clouds, a face on Mars, hidden images in rock formations, or messages heard in static. The brain is running its pattern detection software continuously, even when nothing meaningful is present. Some people are more wired to see patterns than average, like individuals who score high in openness to experience are generally more prone to perceiving patterns than others might be. People with stronger beliefs in the paranormal or conspiracy theories tend to more frequently identify illusory patterns in noise, which raises the question, do they see patterns because of their beliefs, or do their beliefs lead them to be more attentive to patterns? Those with an intuitive cognitive style who see the big picture may be more likely to see patterns than those who focus heavily on small details. The tendency to see patterns is not an off or on thing. It's on a continuum, and an excessive inclination to see patterns can be linked to conditions like schizotypy, schizophrenia, or OCD, where the brain's internal noise or predictive mechanisms are so hypersensitive that they're hurting the person's ability to function normally. People don't merely detect patterns. We personalize them. We imbue them with meaning. Like when you wake up and you look over at the alarm clock and it's 1:11, 3 nights in a row. Or maybe you just heard a song that speaks directly to the situation you're having in life. We assume randomness plus attention equals intention. Like, this happened to me for a reason. But we connect the dots and get, once upon a time, 2 dots met in the woods and their trail leads to a hidden underground reptilian base. I'm not saying that meaningful synchronicities never happen, but it's more likely that most of the personalized patterns we see will be something we've constructed in our minds rather than something being presented to us by some external agent. This concept is kind of linked to the frequency illusion. The frequency illusion is where you notice a specific thing much more frequently after the first time it comes to your attention. This creates the false impression that the item's actual frequency has increased, when in reality only your awareness of it has changed. The classic example is you've decided you're interested in a particular car, and now you see that model everywhere. Now, a funny thing about this is that scientifically minded people treat this explanation as if it has been proven in laboratories or research studies since, forever. But I can't find any research that has actually proven it. It's just become a commonly accepted assumption that that's the way this works. Maybe we'll talk about scientific assumptions another day. Epiphania is the tendency to perceive meaningful patterns in random or meaningless data. It's sometimes called patternicity or magical thinking. It's related to pareidolia, kind of a more general category. You can see this all over the place online. It's like people claiming the length of the sides of the Great Pyramid matches some meaningful fraction of the distance to the sun, and the area of the base is the same as, I don't know, the radius of Stonehenge times pi, and that means the aliens taught the Druids all their secrets. If you're tempted to think like this, read a novel called Foucault's Pendulum by Umberto Eco, and tell me what you think of it. Randomness plus attention can create the illusion of intention. The universe isn't necessarily whispering to you, but your brain is always whispering to itself. This isn't just about losing the rent money in Monte Carlo. It's about investment decisions. It's about making medical choices, navigating through conspiracy theories, interpreting prophecies. And yet, we don't want to eliminate pattern recognition. It's one of our greatest strengths. Without it, we'd have no science, no agriculture, no civilization. The trick is using some discernment. The wheel spins. It does not remember. It does not compensate to meet our expectations. It does not care. But you do. And that's both a great strength and a great vulnerability. Next time, we'll look at a pattern that does exist, but that most people completely misunderstand. See you then.